Hello. Hey guys, what's up? So for today's video, since I recently, well not recently, I'm going to college in like 2 weeks, but since I've graduated high school, I thought it would be a good idea for me to give you guys who are just going into high school or maybe are going to high school again for this year, if I could maybe just give some helpful advice what I kind of wish would have been given to me with high school. Okay? That is what we'll be doing today. Okay, you ready? You ready? Get your notebooks, get your pens, get your number 2 pencils, because there will be a quiz on this afterwards. I'm watching you. Don't be texting Jimmy Boy or Sally Girl, because I'll get you, and that phone will be mine. And I will sell on eBay for $20. Okay? Okay, so for number 5, one thing that kind of comes with life and with high school in general is that you're gonna lose friends. Now, it's hard to imagine that because especially like with elementary school, you kind of grow up with the people, but at least for me, but with high school, you kind of start to drift apart and you start to form your own friend groups and like you evolve as a person and so do other people. And as you grow, sometimes naturally people grow in different directions, and sometimes people who grew in different directions grow together. So you may not be friends with someone like a year or 2 ago, and then all of a sudden you're best friends this year or next year. So yeah, that can happen. Number 4, be active in your school and community. And what I mean by that is going outside of your comfort zone and maybe joining clubs that you either have thought about joining or whatever. Because for me personally, joining clubs was a good way to get me out of my shell and get me, in fact, to meet people who were in different grade levels who I wouldn't meet in my classes or other sorts. And you could have a positive impact on the school or at least on the club. And don't go for it just because you want to make friends. Go for it because you want to put in the hard work and actively want to help your school and community. Because like stuff like student council, a community service club, maybe like a Youure kind of club thing, like even just like simple clubs, like maybe just like a game club or something like that. It's just easy to meet people who are more likely to share your common interests, and you are more likely to connect and bond with. And club activities and trips are like very easy ways to also connect with those people because you share experiences with those people. Number 3, not everyone is going to be active in your school and community. In my school, at least, we had to participate in certain events. Winter Carnival, where it was basically like a bunch of games that you would want people in your class to participate in and have fun. Prom is a good example, and stuff like that. Sadly, this is something that I experienced a lot in my class, where just a lot of people didn't want to participate. I don't know why. It's very hard for me personally, because I participated in everything, so it's hard for me to relate maybe on that level, because it was disappointing in my sense. But as I went through high school, I kind of got over it, because you're not going to change those people's minds. Or at least you can attempt to, and sometimes it'll work, but at least for me, it just gave me more of a headache, and it was just like, okay, you know what? If you don't want to do this, I'll do this myself. Focus on the work and just try to make everything as great as I can. Number 2, you think you've had a hard year this year? Wait till the future. I heard a lot of this going throughout high school, and even I was a victim of this, where I'd be like, oh, this year was so hard, like I can't believe how hard this year was. Like, you're allowed to say how hard the year is and everything. I'm not saying you can't say that, obviously, but like, also expect not to have an easy year. Like for me personally, I always heard that junior year was going to be the hardest year for me, that there was going to be a ton of work, but actually it turned out to not be true at all. Senior year was in fact the hardest year for me because it was somewhat my fault because I put a lot in my, well, is it my fault? I don't know, but I did put a lot on my schedule. I joined a lot of clubs, as I mentioned before, and obviously I had to deal with college and scholarships and everything at my job, and it just kind of all stacked up against me, I guess you could say, but I did survive, and I did manage through it. So you can have a hard year and still survive. Just so you know, you think it's the worst? You think you're smarter? You like 16-year-olds who's only 17-year-old who's only 1 year older and come to school? Unless you made your schedule super easy, but don't show up to 50% of the classes. That's happened before. Yeah, or show up at all. There was people who like you swore like you only saw like once a week, and then somehow they graduated. Am I the only person who had this happen in their school? I don't know. Okay. And the last and most important lesson is that, well, actually, you know what? I'm changing it up because I just came up with 2 things. So this is going to be 6 now. I'm changing this video. You know what? You can't tell me what to do. Number 2 is that this is kind of an obvious one, but you're not going to get along with everyone in the school. I mean, you may think like this just revolves around students, but this also revolves a bit around teachers too, because obviously you are human. Like, you have things you like about a person and things you dislike about a person. You have things that you could like about me, and you could have things that you totally dislike about me, such as everything. But it's just a natural thing of life. But you also have to remember that at the end of the day, you have to respect everyone. I know it may be hard sometimes, but you kind of just have to put a smile on your face and just be like, okay, I respect you as a person. I may not like you, but I respect you and all that you're trying to do, especially if there's your teachers. Teachers are not intentionally looking to fail you 99% of the time. You are basically their job portfolio. If like 90% of the class were to fail a class, that says more about the teacher than it does about the students themselves. So try to get your work in on time. I also saw a lot of this in school where like kids would complain that they didn't do their work on time, or teachers were very strict on having deadlines. Like, it was just here around that you kind of have to respect it with certain teachers. But at the end of the day, you are in a sense their job. They don't want to fail at their job. They want you to see you succeed and take off in life. Not all teachers. There may be that few that absolutely hate you and absolutely have vendetta and that will happily fail you or try to make your high school life miserable. But at the end of the day, that is on them. That is not on you, unless you are a complete jerk. Maybe it's a little bit on you. And the last and most important lesson, in my opinion, is that you're going to have cringy moments. Now, we may look back at ourselves and just be like, why did we do that? Like, why did we act the way we did? Like, why did we say stuff? Why did we follow certain trends? It's because we're people, like, we just want to fit in. So at the end of the day, like, you're gonna have cringy moments. Like, that's just something you can't avoid at the end of the day. Trust me, I'm having cringy moments all the time. But, if anything, it should show you how much you've grown as a person, that you're like, wow, I've really changed a lot, maybe either physically or mentally, emotionally, anything. If you look back on that and be just like, wow, I grew a lot as a person, and I am not the person that you used to be 5 years ago. That's still who you are, but that is no longer who you. That makes no sense, Mitchell. That's who you were. Like, that's still part of you. That's still your past, and your past leads up to your present. So yeah, you're gonna have cringy moments. Like, I'm pretty sure that if we had little cameras actually following us that we knew of, and there's a cringe compilation that everyone would have, it's 99% of the population. No, 100% of the population would have one. No one is perfect. Like, you could literally go back through celebrities' photos, like, even just, like, fashion shows, just, like, where, like, they would be like, oh my god, that's the hottest thing, that's so amazingly looks good, that looks amazing. And meanwhile, it's, like, 2010 when there was, like, all-weather print, and, like, a knee-high socks, and, like, some sort of, like, like, slipper shoe or something, and just, like, crazy dyed hair. And we'll just look back and just be like, why? Why did you dress like that? That doesn't mean you can't avoid the cringy moments, because, like, there's some things, like, that you should know are, like, cringy, but are just like, we should maybe stay away from that side of the internet. Like, you know what I mean. Okay, guys, that is all for today's video, even though this video is probably not going to go up until Wednesday, maybe even later, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Please hit that like button below, and please consider subscribing to this channel if you would like to see more content from me. I hope you all have a good day. Bye!